Hey, long time. Hey, everybody. Uh, this video is going to be special because if you're accessing this video because of, you can relate to the title of the video, which is, dealing with Xanax and benzodiazepines and withdrawal or recovery or whatever. My name is Kim 7. Over the past couple of years, I have shed myself of the life of dealing with any form of benzodiazepines, Alprazolam, Xanax. So what I did in November of 2021 is I put a video on YouTube titled "How I Got Off Benzos," and it's really exploded. It's upwards of 30,000 views, and it receives anywhere from 3 to 4 or 5 comments per day from people like yourselves that are suffering and trying to get off this horrible drug. So, and then I made a 6-month update video, and now I'm here to make what is the year anniversary of me being free of this, what I like to call horrible drug. And I'm actually at 14 months now. So this video today is about 2 months overdue. And I'm going to give some pointers here and discuss some of the comments on the YouTube videos, as well as relate to you where I am, here 14 months later, after being on a very low dosage of alprazolam for basically 10 years as a sleep aid, and, where I am at today. So, number one is I want you to check out the 2 videos on YouTube, and I'll put links below for those videos. And if you're suffering from this, go read all the comments on the comment section of my 2 videos, because this has formed a bit of a community. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of comments, and some of them are really good recommendations in how to recover from benzodiazepine Xanax addiction. Let's just call it an addiction for what it is. There's a lot of good recommendations in there. And unfortunately, there's a lot of stories of suffering too, which is very sad. And I read them every single day. And some of them I comment on, some of them I don't. Just today, there was a 27-year-old person who already feels like their life is over because of benzodiazepines that he's been taking for the last 7 years. He feels like he can't even go on without them. There even a person who said it was a worse addiction than heroin. Um, so go check out those videos. Please like them. Please share them, as well as this video. The other thing I want to talk about is what's become overwhelmingly, alarmingly evident to me is that the best road, the path to recovery, is certainly called the Ashton method. Look it up. It's called the Ashton method, the Ashton model. And I will put a link below in this video once the video is done. And, this is a manual and a book written back in 1999 by a woman. Her last name is Ashton. And the whole premise of what she wrote and taught is that really the only way to recover from health, in a healthy way, to recover from benzodiazepine addiction is the very slow tapering method. That any other way to get off it is extremely dangerous, and you have probably have seizures and psychotic episodes. Um, for me, it wasn't like that. I did it myself, but I don't recommend that to anybody, especially if you're taking a certain dosage for a number of years. For me, it was a very low dosage. Somehow, or maybe it was a miracle that I was able to get it off myself. Um, I don't want to get into that whole story, but the Ashton method, look it up. ASHTON method, benzo recovery, benzo withdrawal. Um, and it has to be done typically via some professional assistance, either in a rehab or outpatient type of program. And there's no two bits or ways around it. You have to literally, over a 6 to 9 month period, slowly taper. These benzodiazepines have rewired the brain. And because they have, the only way to reverse that rewiring is to slowly allow the brain to produce its own chemicals. So the other part of my video here is I want to, here I am 14 months later. No, so how did I go about it? I'd say number one is the support and encouragement from my wife and my family around me. Number one, because I did a lot of talking and it was that encouragement that got me over the hump to finally take some action because talking is one thing, action is another. And I was really afraid to take that jump in 2021. It was the heart of the pandemic. And I'm like, I just want to continue to do what I am because I was functioning well and I was sleeping great. But I knew that this was very unhealthy for me. Any pharmaceutical drug that you take or prescribe to is probably not the best recommendation, depending on what it is, especially if it's anything to do with sleeping or anxiety. Um, Insomnia runs in my family. And I do have, at different times, a high stressful job. And perhaps that's why I got on this horrible drug back in like 2008 or nine or something. So, what has worked for me? Number one is commitment, courage, tenacity, and basically drawing a line that I'm not going to live that way. I'm gonna turn to other ways of coping with it. So number one is exercise, and there's actually a recent article that came out recently all about that, and it basically said if you exercise 10 or 15 minutes a day, your stress levels, your anxiety levels are going to drop 30 to 40% just by doing that one thing. Just by doing that one thing. And then you can start to talk about diet, but really it's about exercise. So I exercise every single day. I run outside, I walk outside 20, 30 minutes a day. Just being around nature in general outside is going to cause you to have such a great psyche every single day. The second thing I did is I replaced what I called my benzo sleep aid with CBD gummies. Okay. And these are you can buy them anywhere. I promote this brand called Premium Brand. I'll put a link below. And I formed a partnership with them. And I really didn't even believe in CBD gummies. I just dismissed it, CBD in general, for so many years. And I wish I didn't because I guess I had heard from different people that smoke pot, and I don't, that CBD is just like a joke and it doesn't do anything. And boy, are they wrong because I could take half of this gummy, just half of it, and I noticed the effects within 15 minutes. Just a calming, relaxing effect. This is a non-psychoactive drug. It doesn't show up in drug tests. It's not even a drug. It's the non-psychoactive component of the hemp plant, and you can buy them anywhere on the internet. I encourage you to buy them from Premium Jane. Um, it's high quality. You can use it in a gummy form or oil. But what's most important, what I'm saying here, this is what's worked for me in combination with melatonin. So for me, for years, the whole idea of me taking this anxiety drug that I took was so I can try and sleep through the night. And it's been replaced by this. I take a very low dosage of this. This is just a 1 milligram melatonin. My wife takes upwards of 5. So I just take one and a half of these pills, which should be 1 milligram and a half per night, with about half of this gummy, and I sleep very well. And I get up and I exercise the next day. That's what's worked for me, along with commitment and drawing a line in the sand. And actually, my main doctor actually left his practice, so I can't even get prescribed anything anyways. So that was great timing too, because once your doctor leaves the practice, then good luck getting a prescription to anything else. Not that doctors won't write out prescriptions and all, because they will apparently. But hey, I put this video on YouTube as a third part of a series now that I know is helping people. I know is giving encouragement to other people who have suffered and are living this same life that I live. And, I want to be able to show people that I've done it. You can get off it. To lead a life with no prescriptions, no pills is the best life. To go all natural, to exercise, to realize that There are alternatives out there that are way better for your mind and body, and don't get wrapped up in this gerbil, being on the gerbil swing, if you will, of letting doctors tell you that here, take this or that, it'll make you feel better because it's not. Doctors, doctors, unfortunately, are looking for the easiest solution to get you out of their office more times than not. Not all doctors, but your general practitioner typically will. Um, I'll give you an example. This is kind of a personal thing, but I'm going to throw it out there anyways because it's important. Because if you're on prescription medications for anything, even for depression, so my wife and I, for a short period, were having a tough period there. So we went to some marriage counseling, mainly because I was sick. I had been taking too much antibiotics for sinus infections, and it's completely destroyed my gut. And I didn't have any, healthy bacteria in my gut. I couldn't digest food, and I was a mess for like 6 months. I thought I had irritable bowel syndromes. I thought I had Crohn's syndrome. I didn't have any of that. And so we started going to this like marriage counselor, and literally within the second appointment, she was saying, "You're depressed. I think you should go on antidepressants." Wow. And let me tell you how pissed off I was. I was so pissed off because I knew that that was not the problem. I knew I wasn't depressed. I was going through a health crisis because my gut bacteria and was just destroyed. And hey, that's just a good example of don't ever get hooked on this crap. Listen to all my 3 videos on YouTube. If you are hooked on this crap, there is hope. There is a solution. And I don't want you to spend 2023 like you spent 2022, just continuing the same thing. Do something different this year. Set some goals and lead a healthy lifestyle because this is your life. This is your one life. And a happy life is not going to be found in any form of bottle, whether it's alcohol or pills. Okay. That's all I've got to say today. I'm going to put the links down below in this video. If you have any other questions regarding Kimmock 7, I know there's a lot of topics on here. Fire away. I know the categories of videos I put on YouTube now are all over the place. Um, but I wanted to make another video on benzodiazepines because my other 2 videos really took off, and it's I can't believe it. I had no idea how many people out there were suffering. Take care to you. Love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your shares. Hope you have a wonderful 2023. And I will check in soon, I promise. Take care.